What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part lucky number 13 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Sea Lord Aislinn Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Aislinn has returned at last after that annoying bug with Lana here, and Nagarond has fallen, giving us yet another colony in former Dark Elven territories with all the lovely landmarks that these guys provide. Certainly going to make use of those, though perhaps not so much the diplomatic relations increasing with Dark Elves. In terms of what we gotta do this turn, well, not this turn maybe, but this episode, we are looking to wipe the Dark Elves of Nagarond out for good and perhaps begin a war with the Legion of the Gore Queen. Actually, in fact, the Legion of the Gore Queen and these guys are relatively friendly, so perhaps it's a good time to maybe set them against each other. There's a decent likelihood that they won't. Oh, we're not at war with Malice. Oh, that's interesting. Huh, go figure. Can we borrow this army? Actually, no, we cannot, but maybe we can borrow... Wait, really? We only have 8 allegiance? So I guess we just took Likamoida back. What about you, Arwenel? Alright, once again, just like last episode, failing at the whole one at a time thing. You request army, and it loses all of its movement. Huh. Why did that happen? Did you guys see that? When we took the army from Tyrion, this army... His main army started suffering attrition because... Why? How does that make any amount of sense? You wouldn't be paying for this army right now. What? Okay, I don't know what's the deal there, but that's pretty weird. Huh. Okay, we gotta be careful about borrowing armies. I guess I could give it back, but frankly, it might be nice to have an army move up here, because Malice is coming. And yeah, alright, so, what I would like to do is decrease the relationship between the Legion of the Gore Queen and Hag Grief. So, let's use a little bit more of our court intrigue. Legion of the Gore Queen, if we can find it in here, should be a nice little red icon, and Hag Grief's a purple icon. There you go. And we, oh wow. 313? Even if we do this 3 times, it'll only drop it down to like minus 40 or so, and that won't be enough for them to turn upon each other. Go figure. And I'm willing to bet that these guys won't break their non-aggression pact easy either. No, with you with Hag Grief. Oh, they will, but it's probably bugged, eh? Yeah, see, they're willing to do that way too easily, it's too suspicious. They're willing to break all of the... Oh, actually, it might be because they're not at war with anybody. No, but see this? They're willing to break the military access pact with the Mung and Aghol, which are their allies, their vassals, and yeah, that seems bugged. Much as I'd love to ask them to do this, then again, also diplomacy between Chaos and Elves is kind of somewhat a ridiculous concept, so yeah, you know what? I'm gonna leave them alone and not do that, which is a shame because it would have been neat if we could get them to fight each other while they're sending this massive invasion fleet to reclaim Nagaroth, but it is what it is. Alright, in that light, let's get a temporary lord going here. I'd say there's a distinct likelihood that you'll die, but nonetheless, let's get a princess, or no, let's get an archmage of the death variety. Let's go with dampener, I guess. Or reduce enemy winds of magic. I mean, what's the likelihood that you actually survive here? Protective and protected. Maybe we'll do this one instead. I mean, yeah, it 60 influence, but it's not like we really care about the influence cost, so we'll pop you in here, and unfortunately I imagine we won't be able to immediately recruit. Yeah, we will not. Huh. I just had a thought. We should not declare war on Malice this turn, because if he can land this turn, he could immediately potentially attack MANTRESSA and draw the garrison of Car out, which we wouldn't want to happen. Alright, so I guess we're fine there. Alright, anyway, Armandus, I believe you... Oh, are you out of range? Yeah, that's what happens when you reload sometimes. Yeah. See, when you close the game, sometimes the, not the leadership, but the amount of movement range tanks, which is unfortunate because you were right at the, well, you were able to reach Foretold last episode, but I guess you're not now. And I guess you can't land here, can you? Looks like this is a cliffside? I guess this is a cliffside. Dang. So how do we do this? We need to catch Ragnar. Melwyn is here with a... well, pretty decent stack. I guess we could go near Ragnar and see what happens. I wonder if this guy could move in to reinforce in that light. But where could he... Well, he can't attack any of our territories. Alright, Armandus, I guess you're just going to have to go after Ragnar. Let's see what you can do. I don't want to chase after him with Salendor, who's going to go after Grautrolex's Glare, so yeah, let's just do this. And you can go into Lilith's Bat. Move the wrong way, I'm an idiot. I can't go into Lilith's Blessing, but okay. Oh, also, I believe you have completed your recruitment, have you not, Artheus? So start moving this way. Maybe you can deal with Foretold if they go there. And we'll have to pay attention to getting you the heroes that you're missing as well. Salendor, you've been patient long enough by the looks of it. You are going to go after Grautrolex's Glare then. And obviously give it to the Order of Lore Masters. Out resolve, say Leela to the army, and establish outpost to Order of Lore Masters, establish outpost. There we go. And then you don't need to channel, so I guess you can just keep on moving, stand in camp stance. Towards the Sin Hall monolith is the next. Alright, what else do we have? Oh, that was it for the moving, eh? Alright, anything else we want to do? So the idea of getting these guys, we won't declare war this turn, but we will probably next turn. I can't do anything about you guys. Okay, I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I was really banking on that Zinchen fight, and it completely derailed my train of thought and whatever I was thinking was going to happen. Now I guess we can build stuff here since it's a new province. Lighthouse means you're a coastal territory, meaning you can go coastal, and then we'll still build one of you, but then build the coastal variant. Alright, building upgrade available and assigned skill post available, and I guess we're just gonna end the turn and see what happens. Just to double check, you can't attack, you guys can't move either. Alright, well, let's see what Malice does then. And let's see where the Zinchens go. Who knows? If they can reach us, then they could potentially both attack that particular army. I certainly wouldn't mind it, especially now that we've powered up our... Okay, no, we're not going to join the war. We'll want the other High Elves to declare war upon Malice as well. Ivres is attacking Bernhoff's Brigands. Sure. I don't see why we'd care. I believe there was an annoying little pile of the Bernhoff's Brigands down on Ulthuan, so it makes sense as to why these guys got annoyed and started moving towards him. Anyway, Aislinn, I would really like you to finish up here. And then move towards the Cornates rather than continuing to deal with the Dark Elves, which are pretty much destroyed. Anyway, Rite of Awakening perform campaign movement range increase for Arwenel. Meladriel's Grace gives us melee defense. And Artheus, you got an Eagle. I might keep you on foot. I haven't decided. And oh, these guys are both here. And of course, Teclis. Did you not have an army here, or did you die? Did you lose the army?
You have no power over me.
I wouldn't imagine because these guys are still at sea. Okay, well anyway, we'll deal with that. Tech thief. No mount for you. Much as I like your tech thievery, no mount for you. Alright, then. Alright, let's actually start with the tech thieves then. Oh, you've leveled up. Good for you. Specialist is not needed. I guess we'll get block army and wound. Where's the nearest place? Okay, you got 7 turns, so you can actually travel a decent bit. And are any of the new tech thieves?
You summoned me.
Yeah, so you need to reach it in 2 turns. I guess you can go to Glacier Encampment. Alright, fine. You're gonna go to Ashrek. You guys should probably keep moving then. You have 2 turns, and then you have 4 turns. Alright, so you can go further. You need to keep an eye on what's going on in all of everywhere here. Like so. I don't know what tech we're stealing from Korn, and frankly, I'm not sure I want to know. You, Exhilarated Lore Master, you need to head out to join Saji. Saji, I can pick up that Remnants of Battle. I believe it should be not a battle because it's a Remnants. Grab Arabian Arms, Heavy Armor, that'll help, or Heavy Iron, that'll help. And yes, Malice has indeed landed with both armies, eh? Alright, so, first of all, you, Saji, are going to go this way. We're still gonna need to generate you some more troops, but you know, one thing at a time, I guess. Then, Aislinn. You know what? Let's double check what heroes we have available here. Genius Smith. Oh, I just had a thought. Mist Mage. Maybe Administrator. Okay, that's not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of, well, okay, not a dealer, Entrepreneur. That's what I was thinking of. Getting a Mist-Mage with Entrepreneur and then putting him in the best money-making colony. It might pay for itself. But for now, since we can't generate one here. I was hoping to get a builder to reduce the construction cost at Clark Caron, but it looks like that's not possible here. Alright, I guess we'll get a builder Mist-Mage and send him southward. Why not? So Miss Mage, Administrator, Construction Cost Reduction. I'm going to hope that you're worth it. We shall see. And you will go into boost income as much as possible. I don't know if you'll level enough to make this worth our time, but who knows. And in addition to boost income, just in case block army, I guess? Well, actually get specialist because, you know, might be able to or have to block. Alright, then. Armandus. Okay, wait, let's select a tech, and I know which one we're selecting. It was this one. Wait, actually, it was this one. Highborn Champion. Sword Recruit Rank and Hero Recruit Rank. Oh, I shouldn't have built that here. I forgot about this. Okay, well, whatever. You. Chase down Ragnar, who will run. But I'm willing to bet he won't run that far, and I don't know what you're doing, but you're gonna have a bad time too, I'm sure. You can go after Ragnar. And auto-resolve this because it's garbage. I mean, there's actually some decent stuff in there, but not worth our time. And... oh, man. Okay, well, healing is basically nothing, so we'll increase the income. You're gonna go into a camp stance now, you're gonna sit here. Akarak, I believe, won't be able to attack you in one go anyway. Well, some decent stuff in there, though. Star Dragon for Armandus. Do we want you on a Star Dragon? This looks a little bit much. I guess it depends on what kind of... Can you kill this? Oh, just out of range as well. I hate how the AI can do that. Do we bother? Oh, what the heck is this? Did they take this or did they trade it away? Okay, Talakwa. Okay. You need to retake this. Join war against Oracles of Zinch and 2,000 gold. All right, fine. Annoying, but do it. I just want them to reclaim their territory. All right, there we go. Then, ooh, we have Asur domination available. Okay, wait. Oh, man, I can never do one thing at a time. You. Do we bother going after this? I mean, it's not like they can land and annoy Mathlann. The garrison is too strong. I think we ignore it. Alright, you're going to go this way then. This guy can't reach you. I might try to reach this army. Oh, let's also grab you the Blades of Hoeth while we're here. Oh! Actually, I just had another thought because about using the Regiments of Renown to maybe attack Malice, maybe? We can move you here. This guy might go for you instead, which would frankly be a little bit scary for you, but, you know, you're just going to have to deal with it. Alright, Eladan, you are going to land, and oh, looks like somebody's moving towards Salendor. Are you able to reach this guy? You are not. Alright, so stay in camp, see if they try to attack you. I believe they won't be able to reach the lighthouse anyway. Alright, and let's see if they try to defend this in Hall Monolith or whether they move somewhere else. And then I guess Eladan will try to pop into this army, and frankly I could have just done that, but too late. Alright, so the rest of this looks good, or at least it looks okay. Arathond, you are going to besiege Arakdo Gorge, and we're going to move Enna here to reinforce Pyrrhic Victory? It's a bunch of bleak swords and dark shards. What are you talking about? I don't think their walls would hold against this many flying units, but sure, game. You go in and reinforce. We've still got to give this up to... resolve. Wow. Hurt for the word. And got a free razor standard out of it, though. Anyway, don't establish colony, give this to 10. The shoutpost. Alright, then... you can... you can't encamp. That's sad. Alright, well then I guess you can march stance and go far past it. We'll have... I guess we could have you take the Altar of Ultimate Darkness without necessarily needing to send Aislinn, because that would be great, because we don't want to waste his time any further. Likomoida, while I have you, or while I have... okay, Arathond, I can keep the Razor Standard. One of your central Silver and Guard can use it. You can take Dreckless Spire, obviously auto-resolve. And then you can establish, establish Outpost for, once again, Eataine. We're at 7 out of 10 now, not bad. Alright, and then you can march stance past it towards Eldar Spire. It doesn't look like these guys have any armies remaining, and if they do, they are probably not particularly big armies. Alright, that looks good. We could still take Altar of Ultimate Darkness with you if we wanted to. Ooh, wait, I wanted this. Let's unlock this right now. Gallant sales, like so. We just gotta remember to keep enough for when we consult the leaders again. And what is this? From silk to steel, festooned in colored silk, pennons snapping in the ocean breeze, the crescent-hulled Leviathan is an uplifting sight. It was she who first took Aethys the poet's representatives to Cathay, and ever since she has served as a grace and favored yacht for the Phoenix King's ambassador to the court of the Sea Dragon. Look beyond the groaning timbers and the silk finery, however, and there's an old warrior there still. Her dour-looking admiral looks only too pleased to be at sea once more. The Druki are cowards and pirates. They will attack from the north, far from Lothern, where the Norskins have left the realms weak. You fear he is correct. You wish you could know for sure. So we can establish a seaport outpost in a capital that doesn't exist, or a capital that does. So send word to Eltharion. The Warden of Tori Vrest will not see Ulthuan fall. Alright. And there we go. Will this place generate? I was going to ask if it would generate enough money. Are you just not built up? Oh, you're tier 5, so you're never generating more money than you have now. Huh, I was wondering whether we should build the Artisan's Bazaar, but it doesn't look like it. Just do this then. And obviously build the defenses. Hopefully these idiots don't manage to lose it. Alright, fair enough. Looks good to me. Anyway, I lost my place in terms of thinking about how many things we have to do. So yeah, you could reach the Altar of Ultimate Darkness, but it would mean looping you back around. I'm going to assume that Likamoida can take Eldar Spire and... Well, she doesn't need to take Altar of Ultimate Darkness. There's nobody else here. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, this bothers me so much. The fact that Storag Core is here, but anyway. Oh, also, let's upgrade Clark Carround. Yeah, see, I wanted the builder guy here. But alas, not the case, or not a possibility. I guess we'll wait, because next turn, or as soon as this is finished, we can get the Noble Consulate and build the layers of Clark Carround as well. So that's what we'll do.
You may approach.
Yeah, alright. That's fine then. And then Aislinn, I guess you're going to go this way. Towards the Chill Road, or towards this giant pile of armies. I wonder if they'd attack us, or whether we'd have to do... allow them to attack us, or whatever. Anyway, Warder sales into Royal sales, please. We want that replenished campaign movement range after winning a battle. Which, funnily enough, we wouldn't be winning a battle here, because this is Chaos territory. Anyway, let's upgrade you while we're at it as well. Definitely get those defenses and definitely get whatever... No, you're going with the provincial cartways. Alright, anybody else still need to move this turn? Locomotive's good, MANTRESSA. Okay, I'm going to deal with you in a second. Arwinel, we need you up here stat, so go, I guess, this way. More and more armies are going in... Oh, could have picked up that sea location of interest. Bell Cargo. What's the chances it's materials? Let's see, you know what? I'm going to ignore it. I don't want to go back. We need reinforcements there. Alright, so that's Arwinel, Tech Thief 1, or one of the Tech Thieves. I don't know if you're actually Tech Thief 1. And Tech Thief 2, but possibly not 2. You're gonna go here and... Oh, you can't reach the Sinhal Monolith. Come on, man. Alright, and then Gwendolyn, you've been chasing one of our armies for a while now. You need to go to the Southlands. Fast travel. And eventually you'll get there. How many episodes has she been traveling at this point? It feels like a while. Alright, next. Let's double check buildings. So first of all, let's complete the provincial cartways. Let's upgrade you for defenses. Let's build you up. And we will do the same thing. Oh no, we won't do anything there. Next, we got these. Real quick, Iron Coast, Drekla Spire... What? Oh, okay, I don't know why Huh? Did I accidentally click Albion, maybe? Okay, that's probably what happened. Alright, let's keep building here. Although, funnily enough, the defenses probably won't be... Huh. Well, I guess we have no choice but to build the defenses either. I wish I'd give you a choice to not build the defenses and build yet another Elven trade building if you wanted to, you know what I mean? Because in these places, I feel like that would be the better choice. Yeah, I must have clicked Albion, just like I just did now. Anyway, build this up in Grotrolex's Lighthouse. We will go for the defenses, and the rest of this is fine. And I believe that's good. At least I'm pretty sure it is. What? No, Iron Mine. I wish it was by order somehow, like a order that we got them in or something. But all good. Alright, build this, convert this, and build this. Alright, that's good. Next, let's see what Malice landed with. So, we have got Malice himself and... Oh, I can't see. You got a second army here, and a third army coming in as a reinforcement. Alright, I'm going to risk this. I don't know if we can... Okay, what do we have in terms of defenses? We got some good stuff, but this is the AI, and the AI is a moron, which is the problem.
Disciple.
But nonetheless, if the regiments of renown die, we don't care, and They will attack us with 3 armies if they don't attack us with 2, so I feel like this is the time. Recruit all of those. We will transfer the Fireborn and the Omen of Asurian if they survive to Saji and the Phoenix Army, and if they don't, well, they're regiments for now, and we'll get them back. Alright, MANTRESSA. We are now going to declare war on the Hag, and we will just straight up declare war on you, and we will call our allies to help. Nagarath is already in it. I'm just gonna assume they'll all join. Yeah, they'll all join, it's fine. Alright, looks good to me. Then, is there anything we could do to... Okay, a moment. If we give you patrons of the realms, anything to significantly buff anybody? I was hoping that we could steal this one for the Dragon Prince buffs. That would be nice. But I don't think anything here would help the other units in here. I mean, yeah, slight buffs for the Illyrian Reavers, but probably not worth the effort. Weapon strength for spears. This doesn't help in fighting Dark Elves, so nothing out of that. And yeah, not really. Oh, charge bonus for the assigned lore. But anyway, well, let's go after Malice. Let's see what we've got here. What do you want to go into Olaeth's Blessing? Go for it. Now, we will valiant defeat casualties high. They've got Cold One Knights and Bloodrack Medusa. This must be his original stack with the Bloodrack Medusa and the Scourge Runners. Alright, he does have a lot of spears. Admittedly, our ally does as well, but if we make good use of the Omen of Asurian and the Fireborn, we should be okay. Minus, of course, Malice himself being a huge problem. But, well, hopefully we can deal. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Failure is impossible, MANTRESSA. I'm not 100% sure on that, but, well, here's hoping. Oh, the company of Torcalida, or the Talons of Torcalida, actually do look pretty darn good. I like the orange feathers, or red feathers, kind of hard to tell in this lighting, that they have with the rest of their getup. Nice. Anyway, this is going to be an interesting fight. We got allies coming in, way too many spears in their army, but hopefully they'll be able to hold ground. And of course, Malice Darkblade himself, with his Tarkan possession and the original stack that he started with. We do have some ringers in the form of the Regiments of Renown, the Fireborn here, for example, looking fantastic as they always do. But the danger with them, and with really both our units and our allied units, is the fact that Malice has access to Dark Conduit. So, like a warp bomb, basically, if we charge on in with a unit, they could get crippled by the explosion. So we'll just have to either use careful charging through the enemy so that they're not, you know, vulnerable to that at any time, or better yet, to let the AI take the brunt of the warp bomb / Dark Conduit. Anyway, we start the battle off with the Illyrian Reavers, the Heralds of the Wind, annoying the enemy army. Did they just Dark Conduit them? Was that what that was? I'm not sure. I saw some purple exploded, and that's generally what a Dark Conduit is. I don't know if that allows us to risk moving into melee, but anyway, for now, the Illyrian Reavers will do their best to annoy the enemy, and their best is pretty okay by the looks of it so far, drawing the enemy to the range of the Talons of Torcalida, who will fire their fire arrows at them. I was tempted to put the fire arrows into Caradhrian's army, especially since they go for a flammable weakness to fire. The problem is we need other fire range units to join them, and that would be Sisters of Avalorn. And the problem with this is the fact that Phoenix Guard and Sisters of Avalorn seems like an obnoxiously over-leveled or too powerful of an army, so I gotta think about it. Most definitely. Anyway, well, at least one unit has been wiped out and our allies are on field. The bounce power is roughly even, but again, it doesn't take into consideration that Malice Darkblade exists and how difficult it is going to be to bring him down and just to damage him in general. Wow, really? The Black Ark Corsairs come back with 8 units and like 2% HP remaining? That's some heckin' leadership cheats there, eh? I don't think our unit would come back with 160 HP, but sure. Anyway, looks like we've got the enemy units of Scourge Runners moving in. These are definitely a priority. We can't even have our Illyrian Reavers fight them in a shootout because they would tear them apart with their anti-large projectiles. So we're going to move the towns of Torcalida in once again to lay down the fire upon them. And hopefully with the help of the AI's missile units, we should be able to bring them down. Unfortunately, rather than keeping everybody together, the AI has decided to peel away a bunch of units and go along this route down the cliffside. And the unfortunate aspect of that, of course, being the fact that it's going to take them a long time to reach the battlefield. Fortunately, we've cut out one unit of Dread Spears with the Omen of Asurian Arcane Phoenix, and that was damaging to the spears because there are other archers here and other things that the spears, I'm sure, would want to protect. We're going to crash into them with the Dragon Princes and then immediately move to fight the enemy Doomfire Warlocks. Now, the Fireborn, unfortunately, are not magical damage dealing, even though it looks like they kind of should be. If you have this giant glowing fire lance, you'd think it was a magical weapon, but all good. They do get hit with a Doombolt and start fighting the Doomfire Warlocks and the Dread Spears alike, but both of them will shatter rather quickly, or break rather quickly. Looks like the Scourge Runner Chariot is down to one unit and is booking on out of there, but Malice himself has arrived, together with his Black Ark Corsairs and whatever other units. And we'll see how well our allies, Swordsmasters, Phoenix Guard, and other units are able to hold them off. Although, again, the Dark Elves have easy access to armor piercing, and thus still a lot of danger, especially from the enemy range units. And, of course, that Medusa. Speaking of the Medusa, we're going to be targeting her as best as we can with the Talons of Torcalida, while we keep dropping Spirit Leeches from our Archmage on the critical targets, namely the Medusa here, followed by the enemy master, and followed by Malice. Why not Malice? Because once he takes Tarkan form, he's going to have full HP. It's not going to matter. So yeah, we'll just ignore him as best we can. Too much resources to deal with him, resources that this army plus the allied army do not have. Anyway, after dishing out a lot of damage to the enemy with the Fireborn, we're going to peel away a little bit as more spears have joined the fray, especially with Murderous Prowess now up and running, and continue trying to annoy the enemy range units and maybe even move through them to the Cold One Knights, which are menacing our allies and the back line. Speaking of the back line, however, the enemy has moved in with his master on a chariot, crashing into the line of Eagle Claw bolt throwers, and frankly, it just being very irritating. Oh, wow. Actually destroyed an artillery piece, surprisingly quickly, and then we'll move his chariot through them. And then he's going to move the chariot towards the line of range units, which of course the AI has in march stance, so they're going to mill around and not fire while this one chariot just annoys them. Not so great for us. Oh well, the Fireborn have now crashed through another unit and are now moving towards those Cold One Riders. Gonna drop the Spirit of Omen of Asurian down. Confuse it with the Spirit of Tepok there. And smash into their back while they're pinned against the anvil of the Lothern Sea Guard, and hopefully we should be able to tear them to shreds. And Dragon Princes, a superior cavalry unit to the Cold Ones, of course. Cold One Spear Riders at this, especially. Though the Dread Knights and SFO can certainly fight on par with their armor-piercing maces. Anyway, the Cold One Knights are pretty much out, but the fight continues, so the bounce power has started to rise in our favor. Several of the frontline units from our allies have been severely damaged. Both of the Swordsmasters are pretty much destroyed, and I'm not even sure we'll survive this battle, which ain't great, because we have other armies to deal with. And Malice is, of course, himself still in the fight somewhere, down to about half of his HP, but I believe he hasn't taken the Sarkhan transformation. Alright, out of those trees, now that those Cold Ones are gone, the Dragon Princes will smash into the enemy Dark Shards. We gotta take these guys out. Their damage has done plenty of work against our allies' elites, like those Swordsmasters that got destroyed. The Arcane Phoenix will pop off its Arcane Vortex to damage another unit of Dread Spears, and quite well at that. How are you doing? Yeah, 258 kills and nearly 20,000 damage on the Omen of Asurian. And oh, it looks like Malice will actually break rather than taking Sarkhan form, and his army will rout. This is kind of interesting. I guess the question now is this good or bad for us? If Malice is... He's defeated here, but presumably he'll move away from the garrison, which means if we chase after him, he'll still be able to take Sarkhan form. Huh. It might have been better if he took it now and died here. On the other hand, he probably would have severely damaged a lot of the units here. It's kind of hard to say, especially since we were starting to run out of mana from MANTRESSA, who was just spamming Spirit Leech over the course of the battle. Anyway, we did manage to pull it off, though we are severely damaged, including all of our elites, the Dragon Princes, the Illyrian Reavers, and the Omen of Asurian, all down to from, I don't know, 20% to 40% HP, which is quite a bit, and we need them to keep going. Or at least try to keep going. How the Talons of Torcalida do? 90 kills and 9.6k damage, pretty solid. I'm willing to wager vastly out damaging all the range units from our ally, especially those idiots that were running around in the back and away from the enemy master, which, alas, also survived. Anyway, great job, MANTRESSA. Alright, there we go. Well, we did manage to win, although I'm not entirely sure how much that achieved, thanks to the AI, as in our ally AI, being a complete idiot, and just one master from the entire enemy army just kind of, I don't know, screwing up the entire range line of our ally. That meant that a significant portion of our allies' units were not damaging them as much as we could. I guess we're gonna heal up. Malice is going to back off. And now the question is, do we chase him down? Huh, why are you... Oh, why? Oh, that's not good. Now, you backed away, and the annoying aspect of that is... Oh, actually, we can still draw the garrison out, okay. But we cannot draw it out to attack Malice again, which is kind of a problem. Dragonbane Gem I don't really care about, so we're going to get rid of that. And... you do have some points now that you can use. Spirit Leech, double up on it. And go for life leeching, and then I guess 1 point in soul blight. It's still the area hex, though I do wonder whether we'd be using it now. The question is, can what we have here kill what they have there? If only we had something to heal the Arcane Phoenix. And the Heralds of the Wind, admittedly. Yeah, Malice himself is the big problem here. We can commit a lot of stuff to attacking him, but once he transforms... He's got 68 speed, so he'd be able to run down the Talons of Torcalida while everybody else would be able to, in theory, run away, minus the Archmage. So then the question is, do we try to attack Mr. Ramon instead? They don't have Malice with them, but they do have some good stuff. Also, do we have anything that will give us more magics available? Floriath's robe, which, funnily enough, would have been good on you, just didn't want to... I don't want to lose these items. They're earmarked for specific units. I could use a Forbidden Rod, but then that's the only one we have, and we've been saving it for the Life Mage, then we get up and running. You know what, I think we're just going to have to make do with what we've got. It's not like we can heal the Omen of Asurian. Alright, give it a try. Let's see what we're looking at here. Valiant defeat. Okay, so the Harpies don't matter all that much. There's a lot of Dark Riders here, and a lot of Shades. Basically a ton of enemy range units. At the very least, we should be able to significantly damage the enemy army and more easily take back the rest of the stuff again. We can spend the Regiments of Renown because they'll return. Alright, I guess we're fighting again. Good luck. Alrighty, here we go. For the White Tower indeed, let's see if we can pull off round 2. This time we don't have these Swords Masters and Phoenix Guard really to rely upon. They are so heavily damaged they will probably die within the first volley. And frankly, the same might be true of our Arcane Phoenix, though. Don't you recover HP if you use the... not the Fiery Rebirth. Although the Fiery Rebirth would obviously recover your HP, but I was thinking of the Vortex. No, you don't. Okay, so we'll need you to we'll need to chance Fiery Rebirth here if we want to use you. But yeah, look at the front line we have here. Spears down to 10% HP, both of the Swords Masters down to 10% HP. Just gonna have to rely on the Sea Guard, really. Well, what can you do? Anyway, going to try to dodge a little bit of ballista bolt fire with our Illyrian Reavers as we sort of move around and draw out an enemy, specifically that darn unit of Scourge Runner Chariots, which again is going to definitely be a threat here. And again, the Silverhelms, Illyrian Reavers won't win in a shootout against them, so we're trying to just back off and draw them towards us if we can manage to do that and take them out. And that'll be a fairly valuable unit off of the enemy, off of the battlefield. Alright, in fact, we're going to now move in, and now that they're distracted by the Lothern Sea Guard, the towns of Torcalida will join in together with the Heralds of the Wind and start laying down their fire upon those Scourge Runners. Accuracy leaves a little bit something to be desired for all the vaunted nature of elven accuracy. Especially considering the towns of Torcalida are rank 9 units, but on the other hand, this makes them better at going after blobs of infantry rather than single units like this. Anyway, our allies' melee has closed the distance, and the 12 and 18 units of Swords Masters will probably not fight for long, but I'm sure they'll cut down at least a few of these swords, oblique swords. Over in the back line, our units of Dragon Princess have smashed into the enemy artillery piece, but we can't stay around, mostly because we need to do things. Here comes the Omen of Asurian, and ooh, looks like the Fiery Rebirth will activate, bringing it back up to half HP, making it usable once more, even as it pops off a Vortex, getting 154 kills and 10,000 damage on the enemy front line. As I was saying, the Dragon Princes need to peel off and go after all of those enemy shades, and frankly, the Omen of Asurian needs to do so as well, dodging fire as all the shades focus upon it, bringing it down from half HP back to 25% HP once more. Fortunately, we're going to do and take advantage of the same thing that the AI did with its master last battle and start the enemy shades essentially milling around. The threat of the Phoenix and the Dragon Princes potentially being more than the actual Dragon Princes and Phoenix themselves by forcing the enemy to stop their fire. Unfortunately for us, the range units that we had firing on these Scourge Runner Chariots were rushed by 2 or 3 units of the enemy Furies, and we were forced to crash the Illyrian Reavers into their back line to try to surround them and damage them. Fortunately, Harpies are, did I say Furies? Harpies are pretty fragile, and even the extremely fragile units of archers can, for a time, hold them back, while the also extremely fragile units of Illyrian Reavers can cut them down to size. Alrighty. We're looking okay here, despite the extra damage on all those units. And then those spears aren't going to be helping too much, and we gotta go back to killing off those darn Scourge Runner Chariots before they start killing Fireborn, which are still annoying the enemy shades. It looks like enough casualties have been taken and Murderous Prowess has activated, making the enemy units of shades quite a bit more effective. And we're just gonna have to do our best to damage them. Alright, while we found these Scourge Runners once again, and it looks like the Talons of Torcalida and the Illyrian Reavers should bring them down. Alright, that's one. And the Dragon Princes. Come on, we gotta work through all of these shade units. And there's a fair few of them after all. Our main line has at this point been destroyed, but MANTRESSA has over the course of the battle been applying judicious application of Spirit Leech to the enemy lord, and oh, that's not good. Dark Conduit comes down upon the shades and nearly destroys the Fireborn, who are down to 15% of their HP and are going to have to run away. Oh, damn you, Dark Conduit slash Dark Elf Warp Bomb. What can you do? Here, the enemy lord is at 231 HP, a little bit more damage, or maybe another Spirit Leech from MANTRESSA will take them down, and MANTRESSA has in fact moved into melee herself to desperately help against the Black Ark Corsairs. We need every little bit. Down goes the enemy lord at last as the bony hand of death takes him to the grave. Lovely, though that does not end the battle, especially with our elites like the Fireborn severely damaged by the Dark Conduit, our Omen of Asurian severely damaged by, range fire. We still have a decent amount of range units running around in the back line, and come on, actually start firing, please. And we start firing at a unit that isn't being chased by the Dragon Princes so that they don't die. Alrighty, a very close battle, but it looks like we managed to carry the day. Once again, everybody is down to the dregs at 10% HP, 5% HP, etc. At least the power units. Damn that Dark Conduit. Oh, but it looks like MANTRESSA manages to, and hey, she got 19 kills, so despite, she got one kill that was the Lord with the Spirit Leech, and then I guess the rest were just whacking people with her staff and melee. Good job. Alrighty, or possibly her sword, but you know, the staff is more fun. So then I should giggle. Anyway, the battle is ours. We're going to do our best to chase as many of the enemies down as possible. In theory, the enemy army might be destroyed, but I'd rather not risk it. Alright, it looks like MANTRESSA manages to carry the day again, but yeah, there is not much left of the garrison now. It would have also helped a lot if the AI did not mill around uselessly with the Lothern Sea Guard for like half the fight, which is quite infuriating, but what can you do? Just keep on healing. Yeah, that army is destroyed. Malice is of course alive, but we can't draw the garrison out to kill him. The main problem though is the fact that another army is coming in, and what's the likelihood Capitano Sissoko attacks them? Low? I'm gonna say low because the AI will move first. And yeah, interestingly, they moved here first, and Capitano Sissoko moved here. But notice that Capitano Sissoko did not attack the other AI while it was in march stance. So you know how the rogue fleets like to attack the player at all times whenever you move close to them? Clearly, they only do that to the player. They just ignore the AI because it would definitely take advantage of this. Level 35 Lord with a full stack, and Sissoko, I believe, has a pretty decent stack as well against the march stancing enemy, but they're like, no, we're not gonna do anything. Okay, well, either way, we do have the potential to go after Malice. We can always destroy his army and then back off. I just figure if we don't attack him here, what'll happen is that he'll attack this and then they'll reinforce immediately, whereas they might not be able to attack immediately here, so we should at least try to damage Malice as much as possible. Even if we can't kill him, we can kill the rest of his army, so let's try and do that. Speed of Asurian, you're still on foot, aren't you? You really could have used a mount. It would have been real helpful. We could use Doom and Darkness for a morale shock, potentially. We have a base version of Aspect of the Dread Knight, so it doesn't matter as much that we take it, although the magical damage imbuement isn't too bad. I'm gonna give you... what does this do? More speed. Greater ward. Honestly, if Malice reaches you, you're dead. Like, there's nothing you can do. So let's try to get you Speed of Asurian just to try to get out of there. If he does in fact reach you, we'll max out Soul Blight as well. Alright. And in we go once again, I guess.
Strike them down.
Alrighty, Valiant defeat, casualties high, yeah, I suspect. Yeah, we can't have the Scourge Runners hit to the Yeoman of Asurian because it will instantly die. Anyway, go. Alright, no. You know what, MANTRESSA, I love you, but not for Techless. Never for Techless. Anyway, here we go. Round 3, with the big threat, of course, being actually dealing with Malice himself. Let's see if we can pull it off one more time, at least. We're gonna start the battle out by going after that darn Scourge Runner Chariot with, again, those anti-large bullets. We can't even close the distance with the Yeoman of Asurian to use its Vortex, and, well, frankly, even one is a threat to the Heralds of the Wind. So we're gonna Spirit Leech it and then try to pincushion it as best we can, but Malice will close, and that's actually just fine because the win condition is leading, or at least a big part of the win condition is leading Malice the heck away from the rest of the army. He's gonna pop the blood price to try to increase his, reduce his damage taking, and is going to head after the Illyrian Reavers, which is perfect. We're going to peel the Fireborn away from him. We don't want them fighting in melee while we try to go after the rest of the army. I'm gonna thus move the Talons of Torcalida and MANTRESSA herself in towards the rest of the enemy army. Looks like Malice is transformed into Sarkhan. Yes, keep leading him the heck away from the fight. Here comes the Vortex down on the enemy infantry, the spears below. And there we go, the Omen of Asurian. Yes, the Omen of Asurian gets the activated Phoenix Rebirth, bringing it back up to about 45% of its HP and severely dishing out damage to that unit of spears. Of course, they're all still in the fight. The Dragon Princes have caught the enemy master, and with the newly healed up Omen of Asurian, we're going to use all of them to surround and hopefully destroy him. There we go, the master is out. Now we move towards the enemy spears and Blackguard Corsairs, while MANTRESSA moves in to support, and the Talons of Tor Callida start using their fire arrows upon the Dark Shards. So either they turn and face them, or they take the arrows. We shall see. On the bright side, the spears are out, and we move towards the rest of the enemy units. The Blackguard Corsairs now to be destroyed, while Malice still obviously unable to catch the extremely fast Illyrian Reavers, as Cold Ones are a rather slower unit of cavalry than the light missile cav are. And there we go. With that, his troops are all destroyed and only Malice remains. Of course, now that he's in Sarkhan form, which he didn't take in the first fight, he is unbreakable, meaning we just gotta keep on running. Well, there's actually two things we gotta do. Not only do we gotta keep on running, but we gotta spam Spirit Leech like we did the first time. So MANTRESSA is going to stay here using the cliff to keep herself between Malice and, well, Malice's sword and, well, keep her between Malice, yeah. Keep the cliff between her and Mal. Yeah, okay, it makes sense. Anyway, I just gotta keep running away with the heralds, who he keeps chasing and dropping those spirit leeches, and keep the rest of our army away so he can't activate his, I don't know, Soul Stealer or whatever similar ability he has to recover his HP. In Sarkhan form, Malice very slowly loses HP over time and is reliant on fighting blobs of units in order to keep fully recovered, which we obviously can't let him do. We are unfortunately now out of ammo, so while we did a little bit of damage to him with the Illyrian Reavers, it isn't much, but they've certainly been serving their purpose. And just keep running away, and he's going to keep slowly losing his HP, and every time the Spirit Leech is off cooldown, we'll overcast another Spirit Leech to use the extra range and hit him again. Down to about 25% of his HP, and has actually reached his healing cap as well. Looking good. Alrighty, down to 800. Maybe one more Spirit Leech will put Malice in the grave. There we go. Just gotta keep near to MANTRESSA. There we go. Close the distance once more with the Illyrian Reavers. Pop the Spirit Leech, and then continued backing off. Like so, and Malice is down now to 5 HP, and with that, will be defeated. Absolutely fantastic. Kept everyone away. He couldn't heal, and he couldn't go after MANTRESSA and kill her because of the cliffside obstacle. That felt really mean and sneaky, but you gotta do what you gotta do to win. I really enjoyed all this. They're very unexpected to have won these defenses at all with the random hero summon. Alrighty, there we go again. Led Malice around by the nose, unable to do any damage whatsoever, while we dropped Spirit Leech after Spirit Leech after Spirit Leech on him. Very nice. Looks like MANTRESSA wins again. I really wasn't expecting her to win any of this going into these fights, but well, here we are. She's certainly done an amazing job doing so, and does look like Nonan's Fated Shield will land once more. I don't know whether we can win one more fight, but we'll see. Absolutely magnificent job. I think if she survives this, if the other army moves in again, I think we're going to keep her. I wasn't intending on making a Death Mage one of our lords, but I feel now that she has earned the right. And, you know, considering her very nice, effective use of those Illyrian Reavers, despite the fact that she's not an exemplar, maybe we'll let her use some of the Illyrian Reavers in her army. Let me just see here. So, yeah, oh wait, not exemplar. There was another one. Yeah, I forgot what the one was, but there was one with like a significant amount of reductions for the Illyrian Reavers and such. I could always give her Illyrian Reavers and give somebody else Silver Helms or something like that.
High Mage.
I'm just very happy about that. Admittedly, okay, what do mages actually get? Let me just see here. They're just better at spells, right? Yeah. They don't actually buff the army in any way. And I guess Reavers staying out of combat by and large, it does kind of work for them. And just the loss of the glittering host, give it, well actually no, that does for infantry. Wait, do we actually have a princess? We have that exemplar one, but I don't think we can see her traits. I guess we could get her on the field and then off the field real quick, just because I'm curious about it. It's not like we're going to be recruiting her army right now, so do this. Yeah, do this. Just here for a second. I just want to see these guys. They give them Master Archer, so they give them missile strength as well. Which admittedly would be nice for the Reavers, but we could always give you Tyrannok chariots and use their missiles and then Reaver chariots as well. Or Reaver chariots. Thilmar chariots as well. We were going to do a chariot-centric army. Well, that was the point of the exemplar. I mean, 10 missile strength isn't huge. Reaver arrows for herself. Oh, and they have Reaver arrows? Like Illyrian Reavers? But yeah, that's pretty much the only buff that Princess would give them directly. I don't remember what the buffs were. Okay, you reset or disband or whatever. I just wanted to check the... Oh. 1 second. Like so.
Your best.
Like so. There you go. I just wanted to check those skill points. Anyway, again, wonderful job to MANTRESSA. See if she survives again. Too bad she can't recruit right now because it would be possible to get a bunch of ships companies and stuff. Anyway, anything else we got to do this turn? Did I do the building? Building was a lot of fighting in one turn, so I've kind of forgotten. I think we did, didn't we? I guess we're ready to end the turn and see if Anonins lands and whether we survive. All right. Skip, 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 skip. Also, if we're keeping you, I guess we could give you items. Worm Slayers, like, yeah, we can't lose melee defenses, wouldn't help you. I don't necessarily think Blessed Tome would be particularly useful to us. Enchanted Spyglass would be very useful, but outside of this army, and I'm not inclined to risk losing it. I guess for now, at least, you can have Floriath's Robe. If you die, then you die. At the end of the day, you've earned these good items. Just checking what else we potentially have up here. Oh, targeting range for spells, eh? On the Starwood Staff. You know what? Have a Starwood Staff for now. I'm gonna forgo anything else, I think. Alright. Any ancillaries? Okay, not the Horn of Isha, those aren't for you. Those are slated to be for other armies. Aetanian Vintner. Oh, we have the Illyrian Horsemaster. Finally, somebody to use those. And currently, Salendor the Patient has a Scarecrow banner, but he is fighting Tzeentch, and that kind of tracks. So yeah. Anyway, I wonder if you're going to attack us, or attack Salendor rather. Well, good luck to you if you do. We are probably going to wait for the Dragonship forces. We have the ordnance caches, which is what we needed here. And I don't think anything else is super important right now. Alright, let's end the turn then. Let's end the turn and see. And, okay, it looks like they will indeed attack Salendor. And, I mean... he's already fought like twice as many Tzeentchans at the same time and had no problem. I'm kind of more interested in the fate of MANTRESSA right now, so I'm just going to auto-resolve this. We know he'd win. Everybody knows he'd win. Auto-resolve. Alrighty, and then we will heal up because, you know, it does damage us. You've earned the right to auto-resolve that army, I think, after all you've done. Alright, come on and turn. Where is Malice? I'm just, okay, there's Hagrief. Okay, either they did land and didn't attack, or they ran away. Let's see. Absolutely glorious work from MANTRESSA, though. And she was working with Nagaroth. We could do Illyrian Reavers and Shadow Warriors. It would mean putting more Shadow Warriors in another army, but she kind of was fairly sneaky in that particular fight, and oh... here they come. Will they be able to land and attack us immediately? I don't know. Enemy killed in battle, Starwood Staff, Bernhoff's Brigands destroyed, the Wild Hunt ceases, technology researched. Nice. You, go into encamp stance, go right here outside of Karond Kar. Alethanar is there, but there's no guarantee that he isn't a moron and doesn't sail out and get himself killed. Tech Thief at Thilmar Chariot for Tech Thief? No. Alright. Well, let's see what we can get in one turn of recruitment here. Yeah.
I wield the winds.
Alright, well, you guys stay there. One turn of recruitment from Global. We can build White Lions and Silver and Garden one turn? Alright. I guess we can also build Shadow Warriors, which is what I was going to say. I can build eagles in one turn, chariots, or at least Terranog chariots. Alright, I'm gonna say build 4 Shadow Warriors. It will mean no line holders, but again, with the kind of sneaky way that we won that last fight, I feel like, yeah, this is the thing to do. It's kind of evolved naturally, and that's what I'm really about. What else do we want? Do we want line holders for her? I don't know. You know what? Just build 5 Shadow Warriors for now. We'll see about anything else later. We can't build Valyrian Reavers because we no longer have the recruitment building for them. What do I have here again? We have this and the chariot building. Yeah, okay, I think we need to keep the chariot building because the global recruitment... Okay, let me just see here. Oh, we wouldn't have access to Sisters of Avalorn out of this? No, we would have them out of this. I'm just looking whether we can delete that particular building thus. Delete that particular building this. That made no sense. Right now. And replace it with the Reaver building. Frankly, neither one should be here, but some things can't be built in the dragon ships, and they can only be built in the colonies. Shadow Warriors. Do we have access to Shadow Warriors? Rangers, all this stuff. There's a lot of stuff on that building, to be honest. Admittedly, chariots, we can't... You know what? Wait, didn't I see... Oh, was that down there too? Yeah, it was down there too. Maybe we delete the chariot... Wait, no, not the chariot building. Okay, let me just see here. I think we have access to most, if not all, of this stuff via global recruitment from that. So I think we're okay to delete that particular building. Anyway, let's go for tech. So we are going to go with hierarchical maneuver here for that hero action success chance. Don't actually need elite champions, but looking good now. Alrighty. Ooh, alright, so MANTRESSA, you... Oh, you know what you could also do? Go global recruitment. I now wish I hadn't used... Okay, whatever. These guys. Treekin. And Daughters of the Forest? Pick up a couple of Frostworms. I'm not sure that we'd actually want them in this army. And I'm also not sure that we'll actually keep... Actually, no, ambushers. But they don't have stagger shots, so what's the point? I'd rather use the Shadow Warriors here. We do have... Oh, Snow Leopards don't have stock? Ugh, Vanilla. Why are you like this, Vanilla? Anyway, we'll grab a couple of Frostworms for now. She used a Phoenix, and she used sneaky tactics. Valyrian Reavers, Shadow Warriors, Frostheart Phoenixes, and maybe a couple of Frostworms, and then transfer the Treekin to another army. Maybe that's what we do. Assuming, of course, we don't get into combat with with these guys, which is a distinct possibility. And if we do, we could always use with some water elementals here instead. No, I like the Frostheart Phoenixes. It's evolving naturally. Anyway, Fireborn and Towns of Torcalida will probably transfer. You guys, I assume, will not be able to reach Saji. Saji, you can land, can't you? Yeah. I guess one worrying thing is that these guys might bypass all of this and then go to, down here, so we'll have to see. Arwenel, I would like you to stay in a regular stance and then stay here. We'll see what these guys do. And how they react. Asur Domination. We shall be able to select a new thing. We're at 4 out of 6 here. Is there anything critical? Oh, we can't actually select any of those. We can select one of these, though. Casualty or punishment rate specifically for dragon ships. Recruitment cost reduction. Oh, could have done that just now. Maybe we do the recruitment cost reduction. I'd love to do this, but again, plus 2% upkeep would cost us probably a fair bit of gold. Maybe we just do it, because what this will do is it will unlock 2 more dragon ships, and we did just get the Lord rank increase. I guess in theory we could wait for a little bit more and get the layers of Clark-Harrond up and running, but I'm not so sure it's necessary. Yeah, you know what, let's do this. Screw it. We are at 3851. Let's see how much this hurts us. And, 600, not so bad. Alrighty, all 5 dragon ships unlocked. Patrols in the Sea of Chaos north of Ulthuan report increased sightings of Norscan longships, with many even penetrating the shifting isles to raid Kreis and Kathik. Could this unseasonal belligerence be tied to the rumors out of Nagaroth? It would not be the first time that the Druki manipulated the Norskans into serving their purposes, or used their sporadic invasions to provide cover for their own. It is time to enforce your mandate as Sea Lord of Ulthuan and gather the fleets of the Asur. Their admirals may have heard much that you have not. What do we have here? A hush descends over the entire fleet as Dragonir glides through the picketing lines of falcon ships. A legend to Druki and Asur alike, she was the first of her kind to ply the world's oceans and secure the naval hegemony of Ulthuan. So openly disdainful is her Thilmar-clad admiral that he refuses to dirty his boots on Calendirion's deck, obliging you to call upon him. For the chance to step aboard so storied a vessel, you can overlook a little arrogance. I have seen the Druki scouting the islands north of Toranlek. If I did not know that the ruins of Nagaryth have been picked clean, I would have thought they were looking for something there. Alright, Armada assembled. All keels aligned at last. The invasion is surely near. Oh, we missed one of the little stories about the it still says, oh, okay, because they're not on field yet. Exarion the Fierce and Rodir the Brave. I note that they have level 1. Are you telling me that they started level 1 no matter what? Well, that's rude. Oh, Expert Quartermaster. I didn't know that this guy had this guy's a special trait. And this will be our dragon army, dragon princes. We'll give him these guys. Well, I'd love to get this up and running here, but I guess we'll have to wait until this is dealt with. Yeah, since you have the bonus of reductions, we'll definitely make use of that. Alrighty, but anyway, I think, folks, with that, we are out of time, and I am going to call this episode here. It was a heck of a defense out of MANTRESSA, and she remains alive. Let's see if she can continue to remain alive next time. Plus, we move towards the giant pile of cornates here with Sea Lord Aislinn, and look to wipe it. Oh, he's back again. How many times, Malekith? How many times? We're actually going to lose Anna. I wonder if we can... Well, whatever, we'll just have to deal with it. The garrison out of the altar is kind of garbage anyway, but we do want you to move in to support it. Oh, we can't even reach it in one go, so that'll allow him to recruit probably 64 million more shades, but I guess that's a problem for next time. So stay tuned for more Aislinn and more MANTRESSA. Don't forget to leave a like and comment below, as once again the campaigns age out. The engagement will determine the episode length and, well, the campaign length itself. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.